All right, hello everybody. We are just getting things set up here with our friends from Madison, the Marvel's Alpha team, taking on our Horde Bravo team. So it should be a lot of fun. Madison always fields good quality teams. Just getting things set up here. We're going through the bands. It should just be here a couple minutes. This is round, hard to keep track at this point. I'm going to say 5, just to kind of guess at this point because I'm kind of lost in the bracket sauce. But this is the consolation bracket. The teams have been doing great. Marvel's, or I should say the Horde, face a really tough team at Macomb, who actually went to the, I think, semifinals. But since then, they've won a game and keeping this thing, hoping to keep this thing going and earn themselves a spot at NAF with a win here. So we'll come right back. Let me finish getting things set up, and we'll see you here in a couple minutes. So stick with us.
Yeah, I'm not gonna recognize it.
Esports is a multi-billion-dollar industry. We're taking that and we're delivering it to elementary and middle school kids.
Yo, you guys are getting pretty wrecked by me. All right, push up with me, push up with me.
We're bridging the gap between conventional athletics and competitive gaming. We have kids working on the same technology that the pros are training to improve their skills.
When did you lose? When did you lose? Why did you lose? Like the games that you lost, why did you lose?
Through a partnership with the Positive Coaching Alliance, our coaches go through a double goal certification. They learn not only how to work through the strategies of the different games they're playing, but they also work through how to impact these kids' lives in a positive way. They get to mark and highlight behaviors and attributes that will lead to long-term life skills.
You love being Battle Mercy.
Yes, Battle Mercy.
No, it's not. Why don't you tell us your favorite move that Mercy does?
So what brought me to XP League is the experience of my children. I had always hoped and wanted them to be a part of a youth athletics team. So I realized they all love competitive gaming. So why not marry their passion with what I'm hoping for them to learn and achieve and put healthy, solid values in place in something that the kids want to do and are excited about doing.
Yes, Steve!
Experience points. Every game awards experience points. And what we built here is an experience. Professional level equipment, the top tier partners in esports. They're also getting the experience of sportsmanship values, of working with mentors and coaches, and of being part of the team. It's all about the experience.
I need you. Nice.
Go, group in now, push in. We got this good.
Good game.
Far up.
Dude, I got all the kills that first round.
I've got the Mercy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna recognize it.
I don't have my...
I need heals. Group up on the point.
Alright, nice job, guys. They only got 6 seconds.
As long as I can.
They have 6.
Nice! Go, let's go! Is that us?
Alright. Good game.
They say that you can see the devil dance on idle hands. So we put in work. Amen. Put the city on my shoulder blades and molded waves. Focus on the road so when it's rolling safe.
This is gonna be fun.
And we open gates for the year. Plus,
Watch this!
when it's no pain, it's no glory. Legendary grind for the history. Come to shut us down, you are what on? We about to go loud for me.
Let me show you how the boss does it.
We put in work.
See ya.
Ain't no killing this energy. Spilling from the sky with them lyrics being.
They are nothing to me.
Those are riding on my arrow. We constantly get the victory. Turn the dreams to memories. Come on. The grind don't stop. We giving it 100 till the squad on top. We put in work. The grind never dies. We giving it.
Time for the fireworks.
We put in work.
Fire in the hole!
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are just getting things set up here with our friends from Madison, the Madison Marvels Alpha team. We've got our Bravo team getting set up here. So let me just make sure that they are good. They're saying we are ready to go. So I'm going to kick this thing off. So let's head to Nepal. All right, so here we goes. Our Bravo team, sorry, got the wrong names up there. Let me put our Bravo team names up there. Are Agent Tech, Sliff097, Mighty Coldbug, Baboom, El Guapo, and DC Fuse. All right, so welcome to the first point of this map. Nepal is a control map. The intent is for each team to get a chance to try to take this point. The first one to 100% on their little ticker up top gets the point. There's 3 points on this map. The first to 2 points wins. So the teams will be coming from the left and the right. If you're rooting for the Horde, they are in blue. If you're rooting for Madison, the Marvels, they are in red appropriately. So for the Horde, their Slith is going to be running Ana, PC-19 DC Fuse is going to be running Rhine, Echo is going to be run by Agent Tech, BAP is going to be run by Baboom, El Guapo is going to be running Zarya, and Doomfist is going to be run by Twitch. For the opposing team, for the Madison Marvels, they're going to be running a Rhine, Hall, Cole Cassidy, Ana, Mercy, and a Farah. So this team's done a lot of work trying to counter the Pharmacy comp. So we'll see if they're able to account for that good hook by Madison Marvels to get that Reinhardt off the edge. A couple quick eliminations there by the Ana, and the Farah from Madison is going to send the Horde back here to recoup and reset. Really, that hook by Hog, really devastating once he got that Rhine. He got a little close to the edge. That hook reached out, grabbed and pulled him into the abyss for the environmental elimination. It's been a long day of gaming for all these gamers in here. They're going out the right side here. Madison with a couple quick picks, taking out El Guapo and Twitch's McCree. So they're going to have to reset and recock, losing that main tank. So Madison, tough team. I know we faced them earlier in the season. I think they bested this Horde Bravo team. But we'll see. This Horde team has done a lot of work these past few weeks, really prepping for these regionals, and I'd say they improved so much since then. So let's see if it comes out in force here. Got Ryan on Ryan coming in, battling it out. Good eliminations there by Echo. Got 2 eliminations, but the Farah with her barrage comes in 3 eliminations with that Farah barrage. Tough to counter that. And the team wipe follows quickly thereafter. So again, we knew we were going to have to work on our counter Farah gameplay, and they have. So we'll see how it shakes out here. The Horde do have some ultimates, but they need to start moving. 56% on the counter and climbing. So they do have their Roadhog ultimate as well as their Cold Cassidy, the Deadeye. There's the Hammer Strike. But at that point, they're here comes the High Noon out. High Noon by Ghost 10 manages to get to Reinhardt the Horde. So Horde having trouble getting things together here. No sooner they break something out, the Madison's right there with the answer. And with 85% on the ticker, they really need to get moving here. It looks like they're going to try a straight in approach. Met here at the door. There goes a Hammer Strike met by a ultimate. There's a huge Hammer Strike. Earth Shatter there that by Plurp. That's going to take out 2 of the Horde members. And with it in overtime at this point, really don't know if they can get back here and touch. Sliff tries to touch in time. But that was start to finish all Madison Marvels. Good round for Madison. So we'll see if the Bravo team can shift gears here and find a counter that's going to work against this team. All right, welcome to the second point. At the second point, looks like Slit's going to be running Ana. We got DC Fuse on Reinhardt. Agent Tech playing Echo. Bap being played by Baboom. El Guapo playing Roadhog. And Twitch, or Mighty Coldbug, is playing Reaper. For the Madison Marvels, they're going to be running a Ryan Roadhog Sim. So they got to worry about that TP, the Ana, the Mercy, and the Pharah. So they run that pharmacy comp. See if we can actually counter it. The DPS really has to counter that Far Mercy combo. If they don't take them on and challenge them, it's going to make for a long day for this Horde B team. Good hook there by El Guapo to catch Plurp and pull him off his perch. But Sim, a couple quick eliminations of the DPS members, and the Horde are going to have to reset and re-push in here. Alright, Horde's getting back together here. See if they can battle back into this thing. Alright, moving behind the DC Fuse shield. Reinhardt here. Good hook by El Guapo. So they did get them off the perch. See if they can pick up some eliminations. But with the Sim, a couple Sim eliminations, again, taking out both DPS players, they're going to have to reset this push and get reset up for the next one. Madison looking stout here in this Nepal map. I know we've seen Nepal about 6 times today. It seems to be the preferred first round map selection. There's another Earth Shatter. Fire Strike's going to take out the Reinhardt at DC Fuse. Really, a Horde Bravo team struggling to find an answer to the aggressiveness of this Madison Marvels Alpha team. All right, here comes the next push. They do have a couple ultimates in the Madison Marvels. They got 3 of them. So the Horde are going to have to make something special happen here, as well as defer on some of the ultimates. There's the Pharah ultimate. Does catch Echo out there. Follows up with a BAP elimination and a Ryan elimination. This team's really struggling to get things together and get picked off one by one. That Echo, or that Symmetra's really doing a good job targeting those DPS characters that the Horde are playing. So in overtime, the Horde need to jump here on point, try to hold the point, try to make something special happen here. They do switch to ball. Wrapped around the center, ball's quickly taken out. We did get Diva here on point. We've got Reaper here on point, but he's quickly taken out, and that looks like it's going to do it. They're going to go up for the body block, and that's going to seal this first round. 2 clock to clock, start to finish holds there by the Madison Marvels A team. Coming in strong. See who the player of the game is. Player of the game, I mentioned that Pharah ultimate on the first map there. It's a one elimination there on the Echo, and then that barrage just comes in. 1, 2, 3 eliminations. Going to follow it up with the Cole Cassidy and the Roadhog elimination for the team wipe. So let's credit Madison Marvels with their first round point there. And we'll sync up and get these next mission started with the escort. So stick with us. We'll be right back. All right, we are back. If you're just joining us, Madison had a pretty dominant performance on the first map of Nepal, but they've did some banning. We've banned Gibraltar, Junkertown, and we are headed to Havana. So Madison's out 1-0. Horde B's got a rally in this escort mission to get back into this thing and force this thing into a third map. Welcome to Havana. This is a really cool map. This is an escort mission, which means they got to take this little truck, this bongo truck, push it up here along this route, try to get up here to the first point. There's 3 points just like this. The first team, or each team is going to get a chance to push the cart and defend against the cart. And the team with the most points at the end will win the round. All right, so we'll see who each one of these teams are picking here pretty soon. Again, if you're rooting for the Horde, they are in blue. If you're rooting for the Marvels, they are in red. The Horde, Slith's going to be running Ana. They're going to be running a SIG this time with DC Fuse running a Torb. So you get that Torb turret out. PC-14, that's Agent Tech. Baboom's going to be running Mercy. El Guapo is going to be running Orisa. And PC16 Twitch is going to be running Colt Cassidy. For the opposing Madison Marvels, they're going to be running a Reinhardt, a Roadhog, a Widow, an Ana, a Mercy, and a Pharah. So that pharmacy combo, see if the Horde can kind of contain it and do a little bit better targeting this time. With the DPS play, particularly that Colt Cassidy's really got to be able to target that pharmacy and pull her out of the air. All right, Widow with an early elimination of Colt Cassidy. Peaked a little bit too much. Nice accurate shots there by Widow. Widow's going to also pick off that Orisa. So the Horde need to worry about watch their sight lines in terms of these hit scan type players. Mercy is going to bring Orisa back into the fight. Alright, so the Horde dropping back a little bit, playing a little bit soft around this corner. So letting Madison kind of dictate this fight. The Horde need to lock it down and get some hold their ground a little bit here. Really need to mask their fires. They're really splitting their fires and not calling out their targets at this point. That's allowing Madison to push. Wasper's playing that far against two big eliminations, and they are full strength pushing past the first point. And with that, Pharah is going to take out the Ana, and the Ana is going to take out the Sigma. For the Horde, they're going to reset and set up for defense right here. You can see that Widow just raining down fires, taking out that Torb and the Torb turret getting set up. So Madison's being really aggressive with this push here. Again, you just got to mind if you've got a solid Widow you're playing against, you've really got to mind your sight lines. Trying to put yourself out there and give her those easy long-range shots. You can see Widow perched on top of those giant canisters. So you really got to target her and be able to knock her off that perch. They might want to switch to more of a dive comp to be able to counter that and go after her. But again, that Pharah barrage, they just don't have an answer to that Pharah at this point. You really need a DPS capable of countering that Pharah, and I think that's been one of the weaknesses of this Bravo team we've been working on. They've been doing much better. Ghost 10 with a couple more eliminations there. It's going to allow Madison to continue this push. The Horde setting up for the defense here. They're going to play this corner. Again, they need to mind their sight lines. Not give Widow two easy shots. They need to keep moving irregular patterns. But Madison's really dictating their will at this point. There's a Sig ultimate. Does get the Madison up in the air. Let's see if they can finish this off. Fortunately, unable to follow up that ultimate. And Madison's continuing to push in here fast and hard. A couple more eliminations there by Madison. Again, that Pharah keeps splitting the Horde's fire because they're really focused. Really, again, you've really got to assign somebody to concentrate that Pharah, and everybody else needs to focus on those ground. But because that Pharah is splitting their fires, it's not allowing them to mass their fires. So Horde in emergency mode here, trying to latch on, but that Pharah ultimate comes out. Here comes a high noon for the Horde. A little bit too little, too late, though. Gets the Widow and a super quick push there by the Madison Marvels. Still 4 minutes and 12 seconds left on the clock. All right, so full 3-point push. Good job there to the Madison Marvels for that. And we will swap over and push ourselves. So the Horde will be pushing the payload. This is the route they're going to be taking here down this corridor through these doors to the first point. And then we'll go down here and take a look at the spawn. So that's where we'll spawn from. Again, Horde have a big task ahead of them, but it can happen. You can definitely push the payload just as fast as they do, but they need to be able to kind of counter. You almost have to you almost have to guess they're going to be running that Pharah again. Actually, they're not running a Pharah. Surprised me a little bit because the Horde haven't had an answer for that, even though it's not the greatest from a defensive perspective on those pushes. It's if the opposing team doesn't have an answer to something, you know, keep using it until they answer it. But we'll see. We'll see. That might be a good comp change for them for the Horde. Running a similar comp, they're switching away from the DPS they were using, switching back to Echo. Agent Tech's going to be running an Echo this time. DC Fuse is running a Sigma. Slith's running Ana. Guapo's running Orisa. And Hanzo being run by Twitch. Alright, so here comes the Horde Bravo team. Again, you got some action here in the back line. You got to be worried about that every time. They do get in your back line. Big hook there by the Roadhog from Madison. Horde doing a good job keeping this payload push. Madison giving them the ground, though, a little bit. Sombra coming along the side there. Again, she's a very good flanking type player, so you got to keep your eyes on them and not let her divide your fires too much. So again, they're kind of chasing that Sombra. That's what that Sombra does so well, is cause you to kind of disrupt your push and your momentum in order to counter that sneaking into your back line like that. But Horde did get a nice pick there on the Widow. Hanzo got a pick on the Widow, so good job Twitch of making that connection. That should be allowing them to continue this push a little bit further. Looking a lot more coordinated this time. Again, when they're not facing a team that's putting that Pharah in the air, they're a much different comp, being able to focus their fires much better. And the Horde are going to be able to push this first point. Good job. That's exactly what they needed to do. Now they need to keep this payload going. If they're able to get all 3 points, it becomes a factor of time. So if they get the 3 points, each team gets whatever the difference is between their points to push the payload as far as they can. So lots of ultimates going off. There's a Hog ultimate going off. All those ultimates, but no real impact. There's a couple of eliminations. Hanzo is going to get that Sombra, but Reinhardt, Hanzo, and Hog from Madison are going to drive the Horde back, and the Horde are going to have to reset here, wait for their teams to come out of spawn. So they did a nice job getting to that first point, but a bunch of ultimates, and then finally Madison was able to close the door on them a little bit. But Horde are rallying back here, getting ready for this next big hook there by Hog. Orisa manages to survive, find her way back. The Hammer Strike comes in and the charge. But here comes the Hanzo ultimate back through that door. Doesn't find anybody home. Good elimination by Echo to take out the on. Here comes a Dragon the other direction from the Hanzo. Does take out the Hanzo of the Horde, but Mercy brings Hanzo right back into the fight. So Madison gave up the first point pretty quickly, but they're showing a pretty stout defense on the second point. And they're able to get through the door there. They're able to force Madison back a little bit, but a quick elimination of Agent Tech. Hanzo goes 10. Gets 2 big eliminations. Once again, that Roadhog has his ultimate. Does manage to take care of the Orisa from the Horde, played by DC Fuse. And Horde are going to have to back up and reset here. Still 2 minutes, 37 seconds on the clock. Plenty of time. But like I mentioned earlier, time is of the essence. Critically important, you try to finish as fast as you can. But at the end of the day, all you need is 3 points, regardless of the time, in order to carry this match forward. So don't want to rush too much. Good hook there by Roadhog of the Horde, played by El Guapo. There you see the Echo. It's a Reinhardt. Here comes another Hanzo Dragon coming in. That time it is going to take one of the Horde members with it, and a couple more. Again, Ghost 10 playing that Hanzo. Gets 1, 2, 3 eliminations in combination with his Dragon. So the Horde are going to have to reset here. Echo's up there trying to draw some fires, playing peekaboo with Sombra there. Comes the Horde coming, making their way in this side door. Good sleep there against the Horde. We're trying to get their way into this flanking door, but Madison is just making this tough. Here comes another Hanzo Dragon coming in there. Does manage to get the support, the Ana. Mercy's going to get Echo right back into the fight for the Horde. Another good Echo elimination there. See if the Horde can get this thing moving now. They've got a good momentum. They've got Madison a little bit on their heels. They need to keep this going. You've really got to be super aggressive here to keep this payload moving during this phase. So they should be pushing at the opposing team, not letting them kind of set back up in that high ground room. And they're doing exactly what they need to do, push forward. Unfortunately, the hook against hook battle, El Guapo gets sucked in to that. There's a Hanzo Dragon, and then Sombra, Reinhardt, Hanzo, Reinhardt, another elimination with the Fire Strike. That's going to make it really hard on the Horde here with just 19 seconds left. It's emergency mode. You're going to have to imagine there's going to be a ball coming out here pretty soon. They need to get there within the next 10, 13 seconds. They're going to be coming in the main door. They need to get on the point before time expires here. They do manage to get back. They did switch to ball there. So we got a ball coming in, but a hammer strike. And there's ball right on cue. Good battle. A lot of back and forth between the teams. You can hear that Sombra gun going off like crazy. Ball's charging in there, trying to do as much damage as he can. Ball's doing a good job extending the play, but they can only last so long, and that is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Madison Marvels are going to come away with the win, but valiant effort by our Horde B team. Great tournament. They had a good kicked off the tournament with a win, had a loss against a tough Macomb team, and then won a couple here in the bracket before facing off against a tough Madison Marvels Alpha team. Here's play of the game. Hog is going to go to that Ghost 10 Hanzo. This is when he had those 3 eliminations associated with that Dragon, but really good job to our friends from Madison. And GG's to our Hanover Horde B team. We'll see if what they've done is enough to get them into NAF, I guess, when this whole tournament shakes out. So regardless, really proud of how well they played this season. Really proud of how well they've come together in really these last couple weeks and how much time and effort they've put into this. So let me credit Madison Marvels, their second point of the match. And that'll do it for this stream and for our matches today. Come back. We'll have some more matches with the Alpha team. Needs to kind of complete their tournament facing the other bracket winner. So come back for that. And then we've got Fortnite and Rocket League next week. So it should be a lot of fun. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.